Okay. Hopefully you can see me. Hopefully you can hear me. If not, not much I can do about it. Okay. So, I guess I should turn the fan off while I'm talking. That'd be less obnoxious. Nope, wrong way. There we go. Okay. So, ugh. Harvesting garlic. The next step is curing it. And I got these bread trays off of Facebook Marketplace, along with 2 of the little rolly trolley things, for free from a bakery that was going out of business or had been out of business for a while or whatever. I pulled some of these German white yesterday. There were more of them. I used a couple cooking, and then my dad came by today and I gave him a few. But yeah, so for the curing, I have these sorted by what type they are. So some of these only have like 6 or so different ones, different stalks. This one needs to go on top because I have more of this to harvest. Chestnut red. Okay, this is chestnut red. This is done with its harvest, so I'm gonna spread them out. As far as like how I harvested these, I used the Keen garlic method, I guess, what they had on their site, which was to pull them out or dig them out, whichever. I broad forked those beds pretty good, so they were pretty easy to pull apart. And then peeled from like the 4th leaf up, the first green leaf down, and that stripped off the outside dirt. So they're pretty clean. And then I cut them from 6 to 9 inches, which is what they said to do. I've never grown garlic before, so I figure they know what they're doing. I'll just do what they do. But yeah, so varieties, I got a bunch of chestnut red, some Creole red, Vietnamese red. What else? German white, German extra hardy. Those might be the same thing and I just don't know. Music. And Georgian Fire. I might have said that already. But those are the ones that I got. Oh, there's a little baby. I'm pulling out the little like baby ones. And I'm gonna use those to cook with this week. But yeah, I'm just gonna spread these out as much as I can and keep them sorted kind of, because I wanna know what varieties I'm tasting. So I know what to save the most of for next year. I might do another layer of these. There's just a lot of them. I think they'll be fine. I'm gonna grab another. I have lots of these, so I might as well use them. It's not labeled on the outside, so. Oops. But yeah, so, I mean, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I followed the directions. I feel pretty good about, like, pretty much I marked on my little plant tags how many of that variety I planted. And I didn't really have much die off at all. I mean, some are pretty small, but I planted every clove, even if it was a little tiny one. So of course some are gonna be small. I'm okay with that. Next year I'm gonna save my biggest bulbs for planting in the fall this year, I guess, because that's happens in the fall this year. But yeah, these bread trays have been so incredibly handy. I got like 20 of them, and I use them to hold plants. I've got cabbages. I've got 2 of the little rollers, so I'm using one in our basement pantry to store cabbages, and then I'm going to use them to cure potatoes. I'm going to use them to cure winter squash. I'm also going to use them to store winter squash and the potatoes in the basement, probably. And onions, cure onions with them also. So they've been super handy, especially for the price of free. But, you know, if you're, oh, this one's got a little scratch on it. That one's not gonna cure. Yeah, if you're, I think, so that bakery was in St. Johnsbury, Vermont, and he gave away like hundreds of these in like a day. And pretty much everybody who went in there was using them for like gardening and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, they held my 4-inch pots for my perennials super well. So I was able to put them outside when I ran out of greenhouse room, because I did like a big perennial pollinator strip. They've been super handy. If you've got a big garden and you've got room for them, put in a Facebook search for bread trays and try to find them cheap, because they're super handy. They've been great. Pretty stoked about that. I don't know what I would pay for them. I'll have to think about that. Like if I found them, what would I think that they were worth? Anyway, but yeah, so I got a cheap Home Depot fan. It just so happened to fit in the bottom of it. If it hadn't, I was just gonna jury rig up something so that it could sit there, and I'm just gonna run them in the garage for the next, I think it's 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks before, and you'll be able to tell because the stalks are dry. I've got to go Google that again, go look that up again, but that wasn't important yet. This is probably only about half of what I grew. I've got a bunch of the Georgian fire up there. There's like maybe 12 of the, a bunch of Georgian fire, a ton of German white, and maybe 12 of the Vietnamese red. They're all hardneck varieties. Next year I might try a couple soft neck varieties. I've got to look up, I'm in zone 5A in Vermont, so it got down to like -20 last year. So I've got to look up what I could possibly grow for soft neck varieties, but yeah, that was part of it. And then tomorrow I'm gonna do some more. I'm gonna wait till night because it's super hot up there right now, and I just can't handle being up there that long. So yeah, I'm gonna go clean my fingers, try to get the garlic smell off, and see if any of the audio recorded for this.